happened to predictability? The milkman, the paper boy, evening TV. Now, did I get delivered here? Somebody tell me, please. This whole world's confusing me.
Welcome to our first newscast as Team Razzmatazz.
We hope you all had a great spring break.
What did you do over spring break?
I helped a pregnant platypus give birth to her first baby.
So let's go to Emily and see what other people did for spring break.
I'm Emily Schroeder, interviewing a few students on what they did over spring break.
I went to Myrtle Beach.
I'm Joel Henderson, and over spring break, I went to my dad's house and hung out with him, and I saw Titanic with Elena and my stepsister, and then we went bowling, and then I went to track practice, and I went to the gym. A lot of candy, and I ate a lot of candy.
I went to my aunt's house and had some Easter dinner there on Saturday. Then we came home, did Easter at my house on Sunday, hunted our baskets, and then we went to my grandparents and had some Easter dinner.
On spring break this year, I went on a 21.5-mile bike ride and hung out with friends.
That's a lot more interesting than that platypus. As you guys know, next month we have a Cincinnati trip, so let's go see what Hunjin and Miss Charity have to say about it.
Hello, my name is Hunjin Kim, and I'm with Mrs. Charity to talk to you about the Cincinnati trip. So, Mrs. Charity, what exactly is the Cincinnati trip?
The Cincinnati trip is an annual trip for 8th graders that we take at the end of the year to go to the National Underground Railroad Freedom Center to better understand pre- and post-Civil War eras and the culture of our country during that time and the important parts that even Ohio played.
When is the trip?
The trip is Tuesday, May 29th, which is pretty cool because we don't come to school on Monday the 28th for Memorial Day.
Who is in charge?
Actually, no one is in charge. When I first came to this school 6 years ago, I was used to taking my high school students to this Freedom Center, and it's just something that Ohio is just really very proud of. And so I made a suggestion to the teachers here and that we would take this trip, and we've been going ever since. Everybody saw the value in it. And this year, because we're not teaming, we're doing it as a pod, and Mr. Swab and Mr. Tisdale and I have pretty much orchestrated all of the activities. But believe me, every teacher who will be there will play a very integral part in making it a success.
How much does it cost, and when is the money due?
It costs $46 per person, and the money is going to be collected through your social studies classes April 30th through May 11th. And if for any reason students are having a little difficulty, parents are having a little difficulty coming up with the full $46, at the bottom of the letter that students received on Friday, the 30th of March, please write down the amount of money that you're short. And we do have a little bit of money in our scholarship fund, and we will try to make that happen. We have never left anyone behind before.
Would you like to tell us a little bit about the little surprise we've been hearing about?
Yes, this is a wonderful surprise. It's called A Day in Pompeii, and this is the very first time that we've ever traveled to the Natural History and Science Museum as a group. I've taken my own children there, but never ever taken 200 students there, and it's going to be wonderful. I've also taken students, when I taught high school, I took 30 kids to Italy, and we visited the ruins of Pompeii. So it's going to be awesome to see all of these special and rare, authentic artifacts here in this country. They're only taking this exhibit to 4 cities in America, and then it goes right back to Italy. So it would have been crazy for us to go all the way to Cincinnati with this exhibit there and not get a chance for our students to see it. So it's going to be pretty special.
Okay, thank you for telling us a little bit about the Cincinnati trip.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so let's go to Eli with the info on this Cardinal Nest PSA.
Hi, I'm Eli Massey with the Worthington Cardinal News, here to interview Miss Della Penna about the Cardinal's Nest. So, Miss Della Penna, what exactly is the Cardinal's Nest?
Eli, I'm glad you asked that. The Cardinal's Nest is a newsletter that students in our 8th grade have been putting together to give you all some information about what's going on campus, what to expect in sports, and what our accomplishments have been. So it's just a way to recognize what's going on our campus.
How can a student get an issue of the Cardinal's Nest?
Our language arts teachers are given 100 copies so that they can allow their students to read the newsletter anytime they're finished with their work and they'd like something else to read. They are more than welcome to take a look at the newsletter and see what our students have produced.
And lastly, why do you think the students should read the Cardinal's Nest?
Well, I think it's nice for students to see the quality writing that goes into the newsletter, for one thing. The students who have been doing the newsletter have been doing a great job of writing articles that are very informative. And so I think it's interesting. It's good for them to see what you all are writing, but also it's good for them to be able to see what's going on campus.
Hi, this is Eli with the Worthington Cardinal News, here to interview Carson, leader of Team B for the Cardinal's Nest. So, Carson, what kind of stories are they going to put in the Cardinal's Nest?
We're going to have the normal stories and crossword puzzles, but we're also going to include summer activities, days left of school, the Spanish bartering project, OAAs, spring break, and then Earth Day.
Thank you, Carson. Hi, this is Eli Massey with the Worthington Cardinal News, here to interview Rohan, leader of one of the groups for the Cardinal's Nest. So, Rohan, what is your team planning to put in for the Cardinal's Nest?
Well, we're going to put in some regular stuff like this day in history and an ask column, but we're also going to add other stuff like with the closing NBA season, we're going to do an article over the overview of the NBA season and major events and highlights that were in it, and we're also going to add an article about the importance of fruits and vegetables.
Thank you, Rohan.
Make sure you check out the weekly's newspaper.
And remember, cards, be on time, be prepared, and be respectful.
Anyhow, to each his own. The garden's sorting out. She curls her lips